days. Greetings and welcome to our Master Force introduction or information session. My name is Mushim Suit. Some people actually call me Rita Stewart, but if you've been around me for the last 30 years, you know that the name that I prefer is Mushim Suit. And that name means she who follows God, little g, in divine essence. So I actually wear that as an aspiration, not as an arrival. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about a few different things as it relates to Master Force. We're going to talk about the intention of our work, give a brief history, and we're also going to discuss the purpose of Master Force coaches. I will go over the curriculum so that people who are really interested can understand how we operate, what our structure is, the foundation as a whole. And then at the end of the session, we will tell you how to register for our upcoming spring session, which will start March 23rd, 2024. And that is a Saturday. And I will repeat that again for you, okay? As a matter of fact, we only do spring and fall sessions. So we don't do anything in the winter or the summer. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and just as housekeeping, if you have any questions that you would like to ask, please feel free to write them in the comments, and our producer will get them to me. Thank you. So, Master Force Leadership Academy is an accidental project. The intention of our program now is to support our community towards self-actualization. Now, all of us have heard, if we've gone through any level of school, we've heard about Maslow's theory that self-actualization is kind of like the highest form of knowing who you are and living a life that you love. Well, so many of us in our community never reached that, right? We have been taught to limit ourselves. So we actually support a community towards that self actualization through our work. We also want to generate leaders in all households. We have this vision that there's a master force coach at every dinner table. We also provide a path to health and healing. I can't say enough about how we stand on the fact that we've been given so much from God, from the universe, that we really need to own that. And so we give you opportunity to learn how to tap into the healing arts during our course. We also, our intention of this program is to generate a system of coaches, business owners, and leaders at all levels. We need to have leaders inside the household. We need to have leaders inside of the school, and not just the administration and the teachers, right? But leaders from the community working inside the school for the children. We need to have leaders at every level of our civic organization. And the leadership is not title. So part of our work is to help people to understand what is true leadership and how can they generate that within themselves. We also, our intention of this program is to empower our youth toward greatness. And that's not impossible. It could look like that today. However, we do know that the work that we have been sharing with the many coaches throughout our program, they can see how to transform their life and help others do the same thing. So we'd like to share that in this program. Okay, so now let me give you a little bit of a history of Master Force. I'm going to give you, I'm going to try to give you a version that you can hear the passion about how we do this work. Um, I want to say that we started the actual what they call feet on the grounds work in Schaumburg in 1990 out of a conversation that we were having with my son and his friends. And you can imagine these young men were running into all kind of problems with the police at school. I remember my son feeling like the teachers were racist and they were just dealing with so many things. So I started having regular meetings in my home on Wednesday nights just to let them have a place where they could talk and share. And this went on, and after a while, the young men were there, and then the young women wanted to come. So the young women always had their parents come, right? So we had a living room, dining room, stairwell full of people on Wednesday nights in my home. And we did that for about 3 years in Schaumburg. And the young men came to me many years later and asked me if I would help or if I would consider developing a school so that their children could learn the same thing. And that's how we started the academy. All right. That's the short version of it. It's not the prettiest story, but it is the most heartwarming thing I could have done for those young men at the time. There's a picture. That was our second or third year where we had a retreat. Now, you may ask, what is the purpose and where did Master Force coaches come from? Well, in I want to say 2010, one of my spirit guides told me that I needed to duplicate myself. And I didn't quite understand what duplicate myself meant. So I went into meditation on that, and my spirit said, "Well, you've developed this curriculum. You've worked with so many clients. You've told people and shown people how to make this work that you do, how to make it work for themselves. And you pretty much have everybody that you coach, you literally have them fire you." Which is why we are not like therapy. We're like, yeah, let me show you how to get up on your feet so you can go help somebody else get up on their feet, right? So I actually started in 2010, we just listed that we would be offering life coach certification course. We had about 20 people that signed up for that first course, but only 12 people finished it. And those 12 people we call the first class. So now most of them are still part of Master Force 14 years later. And we can say that it's international because we have coaches who are in Switzerland, Bali, Jamaica, Puerto Rico. I'm missing somebody, but still in across the United States. So we love that we were able in 2013, 2014, put the curriculum online so that we could reach many people because we also do other work outside of the coaching certification program. So the purpose of Master Force coaches is to help to have someone to listen for and support the greatness in others. We also want to have someone that can encourage you through self healing and self actualization. There's certain information that needs to be disseminated to empower us that have been kept from us for many, many years. And we also like to provide a safe place for others to grow. Many of us have found our tribe in this work because not only do we have a desire to make a difference for others, but we're also very much committed to our own growth, our own professional growth, our personal growth, our spiritual groundedness, and we support each other in a number of different ways to secure or to ensure that we are safely moving in our own pattern. Nobody is made to imitate anyone else, and that's what I love about Master Force. That's our classroom. I want to say that was 2013 in the loft in Lacuna Lofts in Chicago. Now, a little bit about our curriculum. And if you, again, if you have any questions, make sure that you put them inside of the comment section, and I will be looking for them from the producer. So, okay, we have in this course so many amazing nuggets. First of all, it's a 16-week curriculum that is sent to you on Saturdays. Now, we intentionally use Saturday because Saturn is one of the slowest energy days of the week. That's why in some religious practices, people call that the Sabbath. But it's a slow energy day. It's a very, you could say, heavy day. So it's a good day for studying. It's a day where your digestion is slow. So that means that you have more brain power available. So many people, what they do is they study on Saturday mornings. Remember, we used to get up and watch Saturday morning cartoons, eat a little cereal, read the cereal box. But now, what we want to create is a Saturday for learning and knowing ourselves, for getting the opportunity to see what's different about life because we've been so busy through the week. So we send your slide on Saturday mornings. And, our recommendation is not that you start working right then. What we do recommend is that you look at the curriculum and determine with your schedule how are you going to get the work done. So you schedule out your time, look and see how many assignments you have because each one is different. So you look and see how many or which assignments you're going to do, and you schedule those. And then as you go through the week, you will finish them off. So inside of each e-learning platform, you're going to have Google Slides, YouTube videos, and PDFs that you are to use for whatever the topic is that you're learning for that week. So you notice here, we're giving you a little bit of the themes in sessions 1 through 4. The information there is strictly to ground you, to have you learn and understand the power that is inside of you, to have you be still, to teach you what it feels like to release anxiety so that you're tapping more into the way that your brain can create, the way that your mind can create outcomes. Most of the time, we're so anxious, all we're doing is just pedaling through negative thing after negative thing. So we teach you in sessions 1 through 4 what it means to ground within yourself. In sessions 5 through 8, we're looking at many different processes. Um, you hear people talk about rituals and spirituality and what they do to actually move through pain and trauma. So sessions 5 through 8, we're really supporting you at looking at where your trauma centers are. What are those things that you need to release so you can move to the next level? Some of us don't even realize that a very small thing that happened to us was traumatic, and it's inside of us, and it actually is suppressing a part of us that wants to live now, right? So in sessions 5 through 8, we look at the processes that you can use to safely move through these different dynamics within you. And then my favorite sessions are 9 through 12, where we're looking at the healing arts. We're looking at the path to heal. We're talking about the chakra systems. We're talking about how to create dynamics and tap in places within your body to secure your health and longevity. Imagine that, right? Like really, methodologies, books, resources, and we see many people take on their life after doing this and realizing that they're here not to be sick, but to be well and whole. And really, many people find their mission doing this work, and they help other people find their mission because. If you've been sick all the time, you think that the only thing you need to do is get well. Well, once you get well, there's a whole nother landscape available, right? So it's wonderful to be in a community of people that can support you in growing into the highest level of your best self. And then our final sessions, 13 through 16, is about building. We really have you look at creating a vision statement for yourself, who it is you want your community to see you as, what kind of practice do you want to build, what do you see as most in need where you are. And when we talk about our work being culturally sensitive, what we mean is many of us, we we think that because we see somebody over here making a lot of money, uh, that means that's what I want to do. I need to go over there and do the same thing that that person is doing. Well, some people can do that and follow the crowd and conform to what everybody is doing, but there are others who have a mission. They're here to actually live and give of their life, right? And do something. Actually, you ask me, I think every single one of us is here on mission. Some of us know we are, and some of us don't. So when you realize that you are on mission, we have the information to help you tap into that and really know what your purpose is, to actually sit inside of yourself and feel your power and see your ability to reach beyond yourself and transform the lives of those around you. So that session's 13 through 16. It's about building. You have to put one foundation piece on at a time, and then you start stacking and stacking. Sometimes people want to just jump up and be done, but there's a purpose to going slow. All right. So there you have it, grounding processes, healing, and building. That's our 16-week curriculum. Okay, I don't see any questions yet, so I will continue. Oh, that picture doesn't want to come up, so let's see here. So when we spoke about each of the sessions that you would receive on Saturday, the way that we test or the way that we determine that you were able to receive the information that we share with you is by having you write a debrief. Now, a debrief does not have to be an essay, it doesn't have to be 2 or 3 pages long. However, I have received some dissertations. Okay, just let me say. I love how many of the coaches that have gone through this, and many of them on many different levels in life, and when they write, it's just so, it's such a visceral experience to hear the transformation through their words in 1 week. And so we find out about that transformation through your debriefs, right? And each debrief, so if you receive your lesson on Saturday and you work through all of your assignments through the week, then on Friday, we expect to receive a debrief Friday evening, and you would send that to your mentor and you would copy my person on it because I like to know what each of our coaches are doing. Okay, thank you. Now, here's one of my favorite structures, the buddies and the mentors. And it's really great because each person is assigned a buddy that is going through the program with you. So we have on the first day of class, we usually have people determine a way to choose their buddy. And it's so magical because once they get together, it's like, wow, I'm so glad you're my buddy. And even after, these 14 years, people that had buddies in first session, they're still buddies today because it's such a wonderful, um, a wonderful rites of passage to go through together with someone, right? And so when you have you and your buddy are then paired up with a mentor. And a mentor is also a certified master force coach that has completed the curriculum and now they're doing their give back. So they're going to support you through the process. And it's your responsibility to reach out and say to them, can you give me what you think this might be referring to? Or you might need to share with them something that has triggered you because of the work that you were doing. So both of you kind of benefit each other inside of that process because the mentoring relationship is still a leadership development process for that mentor. Okay. And your buddy is your lifeline. You're in that together. You're going to walk through some stuff. You're going to talk up and talk with each other. We suggest that Wednesday is Buddy Wednesday. That's when you call each other and you check in. And then your mentor is going to be your main support, and they will be the ones sending your work each week, and you will send your debriefs to them, copying me in the process. Buddies get you through. All right. Now, this is really great because we have two exams. We have a midterm exam that is the concept exam, and that's to make sure that you are clear about the concepts that you've learned. This is a real curriculum. We do test you. We're not testing you for retention. We're testing you to see if you were able to receive the intention of the concept, right? So we're testing our methodology, not whether or not you can retain it. You're going to retain it the more that you do the work. Okay, so we do a midterm exam at week number 8. We'd like you to score 85% or better. And if you're not able to do that, you can retest if you need to. And then that final exam is usually the Sunday after your last Saturday. And you have to score 95% or better. And if you need to retest, you can do that as well. Expert projects is a way for us to find out about other topics that we may not pay attention to if we were not exposed to it. So at the end of week 4, we actually have a session where we come together and we select a number to determine what the theme of our expert projects will be. And each person is to pull two different themes. Some of those titles included aromatherapy, meditation, couples. Um, what are some of the other ones? Affirmations. So it's a way to have you go deeper into some of the subjects. And then what we also would like you to do with the information that you learn, you actually use that to go beyond the classroom. And we'll give you more specifics once you get into the program. Life coaching is all about helping people go in the right direction. And now we're getting towards the end, and then I'm going to take some questions and tell you a story. The registration process, the cost of the course is only $1,250. If you are interested, you can actually respond by putting your name into or sending inbox to one of us from this presentation. You will receive a link for the application, and then when you submit your application, you will be submitting the deposit for $250, which is a non-refundable deposit. You're also going to sign a non-compete and non-disclosure form once we have completed your registration before the course begins. This is for your protection as well as for ours. So um, what I want to say is that I had a list of questions that most people ask, the most frequently asked questions. And one of those questions is, what made you become a coach? Well, for me and for many of the people that have gone through Master Force certification program, it is a life calling, it is a life work. And it started with something that happened for us as an initiation. For me, it started because my mother was put into a mental institution when I was 5, and I had to figure out how to move through life without her. But also, I wanted to find out what caused that problem for her to lose her mind, as everyone kept telling me. And so that gave me an immediate curiosity. It gave me a sense of urgency too. So I started studying very young about how the brain works. Now, I wasn't able to save my mom or have her come back to me whole, but I was able to understand how the environment that we grew up in affected her and the things that I needed to do to make sure that I wasn't affected by that. And once I was able to transform, I was just sharing this with my daughter the other day. Uh, my life is nothing like what I grew up in. It completely transformed, completely unlike anything that I was involved in as a child. And for me, that's a living miracle. It really does have me feel very pleased that the work that I'm sharing with people, I first used this work to transform my life. And that's what made the biggest difference. And so when we talk about how the knowledge came, besides all the research that I was doing, when I was 17, I ended up being in the hospital for 3 months because I fell through the bleachers at a football game. And I was in traction for 3 months. And one of my teachers brought me this book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And I started reading that book. And I only read 3 chapters on healing. It wasn't the first 3 because I scoured the table of contents to find out I need to get out of this hospital. How can I heal? And I was able to it was 3 days later that I woke up and I said, "Where's the doctor? I'm ready to go home. Where's the doctor?" And he said, "Oh, she must have contacted God." So when he came in, I said, "Can I go home?" And he said, "Well, it's a little bit different from that because we have to stay and we have to remove the screws from your leg. And then we also have to put you in a body cast." And they explained to me that I would be in this body cast for a year. However, they would change it every 8 weeks. So that was very interesting, to have this anxiousness to go home, but now I gotta wait. So they did. They stayed and they put me into this body cast, and I was able to go home like 2 days later because it took at least 24 hours for it to dry. The only thing that I could think of while I was healing at home was, why aren't they teaching us the information that I read in that book? Why aren't they teaching us this in school? And so, wouldn't you know that years later, that is the curriculum that I created out of Masterforce, to be able to share in a mundane way, a more, um, to break it down so that people can use it on a daily basis. And I really love that it works, and here it is years later. Bruce Lipton came out talking about epigenetics. And, that's exactly what I have been using my entire life to make the changes so that I can move beyond um, the place that I grew up in, that I didn't know was that bad until I I still don't think it's bad. I have a that's a different conversation. Okay, that's a completely different conversation. So I just wanted to share that the piece of that story with you so that you had an understanding about the passion that I have for this work. And Master Force is not for everyone because we are coaches for the souls. And if you have any questions, please write them in the comments. And other than that, you can always send me an email to mushimsuit@gmail.com. You can also visit our website at masterforceleadershipacademy.com, and you can register online, or you can call us at 773-969-6211. We would love to have you join this cohort. And like I said, we will start March 23rd and it will last 16 weeks. And then the next time we will actually have a class will be in the fall. So, again, my name is Mushim Sut. I thank you for listening. Have a good evening. Thank you.